Well, good morning. I'm back for the 9 o'clock event. I'm going to channel answers to your questions. Please, please, please say hello when you get here. Say hello. How are you feeling? What's doing? What's new? Share with me a little bit about how your life is going and how you're working with soul consciousness, and if it's having any kind of impact on you, good or bad. I want to know. I just love this Michael Hammer music. I find it very transporting, and it's very easy to get way out there in consciousness and very big listening to it. I think it's a real aid in that sense. Keep me a little less stuck in the earthly modes. So, goodness gracious, this morning earlier, I pulled 2 cards from this new deck. I got new cards. You're going to hear about it. This is the Threads of Fate Oracle Shadow Edition. Threads of Fate Oracle Shadow Edition. And I know on Facebook it's backwards, sorry. You're going to have to read backwards. But I'm just getting to know them. And so I'm trying them out on you. Is that fair? Maybe. Good morning, Karen Linder. Well, what a treat. Isn't it nice you're here? Thanks for coming. Maybe you have a question today. Do you? Would you like to ask a question? Want to know something? Let me just answer this. Oh, there we go. So one of the cards we pulled, Karen, you can type a question into the comments. Anything that you want to know. And I want to know what your questions are. And you know, one of the things I like about working in the Akashic Records is the 3 principles that are active at all times, and they govern the Akashic Records. And they are resist not, fear not, and judge not. So I get trained in being with you and answering your questions, and it's not from a place of judgment or resistance or from fear. You know, the first person who has to let go of the fear so I can get the information for you is me. I have to let go of my fear. Like when I asked the guides, I used to be afraid of answering questions about the future. And like, oh no, you know, trick questions, I have a really big chance of getting it wrong. So I asked my guides, I opened my Akashic Records, I said, well, how do I do future readings about the future? And they said, well, you have to be the first one to let go of your fear of the future. And I was like, oh, okay. So if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. And so as I let go of my fear about letting go of the present or the past and moving into the future and grasping the future in a new way and really standing in that, Karen says, I'm full of questions. Well, pick one and write it in the comments so I can channel on it. There you go. It doesn't matter which one. They're like can openers. But my letting go of my fear of the future and really standing double-handed in the present moment with all the possibilities that the future brings is really empowering. And as I let go of my fear of the future, I could see things for other people, and I could feel what was happening, or I could catch on to the energy of the probabilities for your life. And what, the best one is, when's Mr. Right going to show up? We all want to know that, right? We want to know, when will we be loved? And the truth is, in the Akashic Records, I always feel unconditionally loved, and I get to pass that on to you. It's literally unconditional love, and it's so yummy. You have to try it, and I try to project that. Well, actually, the Akashic Beings of Light do it very well by themselves. All right. Okay, Karen Linder says, what is going on between my son and I? I thought we would be closer than we are. All right, so bring your attention into your heart. And two things you have to acknowledge: the sadness and the distance. You know, the sadness and the distance is the first thing you have to acknowledge. You have to also not always be trying to operate on top of that, but just like you get to expand to include your son is not close to you right now. And the truth is, you agreed to be his mother and to go through this with him so that he could be who he's here to be. And it's always, I know you've always felt that his father got the best of him, or put bad things in his head about you, and bad talk to you. Good morning, Marco. Good morning, Cynthia Clark. And just letting go of all of those fears. You know, I have acronyms for fear. Future events already ruined. Or you can flip it around and have it be feeling excited and ready. And if you flip it around and start bringing yourself to your relationship with your son, not with the burden of the past experiences and your disappointment and your sadness about not being close to him, and bring yourself to that as, wow, what can we create here? What is here? Rather than this burden of sadness, this heaviness that I experience. And you've got to let go of expectations. Like, it should be XYZ. I expected that we would be closer than we are. Yeah. You know, but the expectations are seeds of resentment, and I don't want you to really start resenting your son, especially in the way that he, the same way you ended up resenting your former husband, his father. So, you know, because the resentment doesn't do you any good. That is you drinking poison, hoping he will get sick. But what happens is you drink the resentment poison and you get sick. And it doesn't add any love, any joy, any fulfillment to your story or to your experience of life. And I want you to feel these good feelings. You deserve to feel these good feelings. I know that you are a hard worker. I know that you are willing to face yourself, walk through it, take the risk. You know, you are just like that, Karen. You are powerful. And good morning, Lisa Davis. Love you too. But Karen Linder, there's a maturity and it's like being a sage. A sage will love in a very expansive way, without the criticisms, without the demand for, you've got to satisfy my wants. Good morning, Sandra Marie. So, you know, letting go of our expectations of others as they are supposed to satisfy our wants and our needs. And the truth is, the closer that we are with our souls, When we embody our soul's light, as the guides teach me all the time. Good morning, Jessica Beckman. When we embody our soul's light all of the time, we are closer to the divine. We are reconnected. Our bodies, our physical selves, our minds, our emotions, all of that in our bodies are connected to the soul's perfect and evolving light and consciousness. The soul's perfect and evolving light and consciousness. And that light and consciousness automatically connects us to the divine. No effort involved. You just bring in your soul's light, and next thing you know, you look around, oh man, I can feel the divine all around me. I can feel the great creatress. That's what my guides call the divine feminine. And so I do too. I can feel her wisdom, her love, her embrace. And when I do that, I don't have all those empty places inside that I'm looking outside myself to have satisfied. To have my son or a man or a job or co-workers or friends to wanting them to fulfill that. They can't do it as well as the divine can. Humans are always going to be humans. They're tricky. They're fallible, just like you, just like me. I'm full of, fallibility. Good morning, Judy Sloman Breeding. How nice that you're here. Because of that, my over-dependence on getting my needs met from the outside world, outside of me, it's uncontrollable. But what really punches the ticket, what really fills you up, and what makes you satisfied, makes me satisfied, makes all of us satisfied, is when we are connected to our souls, and from there to the divine. That is the Akashic Beings of Light's mission. That's my mission. That is what clearly brings all of us into this level of joy. And I know that's what you're looking for. And if your son can't bring you joy, then let go of that. Don't be pulling on him for that. And when you take your attention off of your son, Karen, then it's like you can look outside and go, well, what's out here and what's happening and how can I interact with it, and how is that here for my pleasure, for my growth, for my fulfillment? What's my role? How can I help somebody else today? That's a key question. How can I help somebody else today? And it takes the attention off of me, my needs, my little complaints, and I'm not minimizing the need. Not at all. No. The soul and the divine takes us seriously, that we have needs for love, for being cherished, for unconditional kindness, compassion, understanding. Boy, do you feel that in the top of your head? That list of qualities. Get that list of soul qualities. Let's all do something. Let's write in the comments a quality that you associate with the soul, your soul. What do you believe the soul has innately in it that it transmits to you, that it provides for you and to you, and that fulfills a need? There you go, Karen. Kindness. Sana says knowingness. This is great. Stephanie says expansive. Yes. My crown chakra is a light like a fountain. peace, calm, Sana says. Lisa Davis says, my soul quality feels like fear. This fear drives me. Oh, sugar, you and I need to have a private interaction about that. The fear comes, I'm going to switch from Karen to Lisa. The fear comes from the personality. It comes from the physical body. It comes from what my chemistry, body chemistry, my brain chemistry are doing. And, it's that fear of whatever I got now has got to be better than what's coming in the future, right? But when I bring all of my attention tentacles back into the present moment and align them all in here and join my inner light. Oh, Lisa, you have such a bright, beautiful heart, and your mind is a crisp, clear mountain lake reflecting the universal mind and intelligence. And the programming that you got as a child, Lisa, was to fear. I mean, it's one of the features of your father that I recognize, that he is filled with fear. He was always concerned about what was coming and what was around. So understand that once you bring all those attention tentacles back into the center, and you fill yourself with your soul's light, like the guides have taught us over and over. There's a ball of light about 12 inches above my head, your head. That's the 8th chakra. You have more chakras than you think. Lots more. We're only doing 8 right now. But that soul chakra contains all of the light, consciousness, wisdom, love, and programming and patterning that your soul has. And it is always perfect, yet it evolves all the time. And so are you. We as physical bodies are expressions of our souls over and over and over again. Our magnanimousness, our willingness to come up against what we don't know and find out ways to know it. And the best ways to know it is not to resist it, not to hold it at arm's length, not to try and keep it where it is or keep it out, slam the door on it. We are here to embrace those things that scare the crap out of us. And you do it every day. You don't know how to do this, you figure out how to do it. You bang around inside that software and you figure out how it works, right? You're not afraid to make a mistake. This you can do with your feelings and with your body and with consciousness that is even bigger than you, your body, your soul. You can bang around in the divine's universe and figure out how it works. You belong up there. That's the next level of creativity, if you ask me. It's the next level of resources we pull into ourselves, and it is available for us for our use. It's here. And so the soul's light, I think also, Lisa, what I'm getting is that when you bring in your soul's light, it breaks up the patterning, the old patterning that's ready to shift, and inserts more divine light, divine consciousness, divine love into those cracks and fissures, breaking up the old patterning. And you're smart. You've rejected a lot of things that people have said, this is the way it is. And you went, well, not really. When I've done this, and I wasn't limited by that. You're constantly working outside perceived limitations. And that is that gorgeously expansive consciousness and that mind, that crispness in your mind of you that you have. And you have my love and support. You always have my love and support, Gary. Yeah. Why does bringing in the light hurt so much? Because the dark doesn't want to go away. It's found a really nice home inside there. And, people told you that's how it is and you should be afraid. And they said you can't do that and all that stuff. And when you bring the light in, it's like there's sort of a tearing as the light breaks up the old energy. And you have to sort of breathe through it and exhale it out. And the good news is you exhale out old darkness, old ideas that no longer serve you. That's the death card. And you become the revolutionary and you bring the light in where darkness has only been. And there is a tearing, but that darkness can't adhere to you anymore. You become slippery with light. You become buoyant with light. Good morning, Jody Prevette Young. I like that, Lisa. I'm glad you're laughing with me. Looking inside is hard, but if what's inside isn't working, yeah, right. Okay, you're getting a lot of dental work. So, and teeth, by the way, are symbols of wisdom. So you're getting your wisdom worked on. And you have to have allegiance to the wisdom you know is worthy of your attention, and you're keeping it, you're housing it, you're being a proponent of it. But you also have to know when that level of wisdom is no longer relevant and has kind of expired, like the energy is just old and moldy and not fresh enough to bring in light and light force and enthusiasm to you, you have to know when to let it go. And you light the path with your revolutionary self. You're a revolutionary one. Oh my God, is this the truth, Lisa? Oh, so true. You're a revolutionary. You're a pattern breaker. You're not like one to sit still and go, that's the way it is. It's cast in stone. And it's always going to be this way. You're always saying, well, maybe there's a way around that, or maybe I could do something else. They're having me pick up. I got a new citrine crystal. It's supposed to be the crystal for merchants. And Lisa Davis is the reason I have an Etsy store. She helped me open an Etsy store. She's the reason. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm having so much fun with it. All right. So, and when it hurts, you breathe through it. And the good news is you exhale or you breathe through the pain, just like childbirth. You breathe through it. You just keep breathing. And everything that you expel out of your cells and your breath and your mind, everything that is being evaporated out of you goes back to the divine and gets recycled into renewed goods. Lisa says, I think I was born at the wrong time. I have enough anger. I could lead armies. But the truth is, in this go-round, you decided not to lead with anger. You decided not to be the proponent of violence. You decided not to be an agent of forcing. That doesn't mean you're not stepping over some interesting boundaries and crossing the lines, but that's because you're a leader. You're a born leader. You can't not. I mean, look at what you know. Look at how you pave the way for other people like me, far less spirited, intelligent, and capable in these arenas as you. You pave the way for others. Just like you're putting out the call for respect and honoring and protection and support for people with mental health issues. If that isn't the kindest thing in the world, that's a hard thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, see? Oh, okay. Oh, man. This is a really spirited group. This is really great. I don't think you were born at the wrong time at all. You chose to be here at this time. You chose to be here because there are the extravagant freedoms that are available to us here, not only culturally, but mentally and technologically and artistically. We are free to express what we need to express. And we get to do it in ways that are supportive to others who have similar experiences, not punitive. And you can be a leader, but it doesn't have to be the armies of war or killing or domination. No, the last thing you like to have is an experience of domination. You need plenty of room to range, and you realize that your mind is always providing this, Lisa. Your mind is always opening up new territories and interacting with that consciousness that's available. And keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing, and expand to include, like the Etsy store, expand to include. That's my guide's favorite phrase. You know, every time I get fearful and I want to shut down, I want to pull in, I want to turtle, pull all my shields all around me and pack it in and turn on the TV and ignore the world, I get to expand to include. And that includes non-resistance to my feeling of a need for privacy and pulling in and non-interaction. It also means I get to stay big. Stay big. I get to keep growing. And your soul will continually force you to grow because you are on that track, and that's okay. You're a wonderful expression of your light and your soul. Don't turn your back on yourself, dearie. No. I will help you. I always will help you. I want to cry. So much love in my heart for you, Lisa, so much. No wonder we got pulled the death card. Death to the old ideas, letting go of what no longer serves us, being in the energy of what does serve us. Okay, Stephanie says, any wisdom about the coming energies this week? Woo-hoo! Well, we are in, like, the waves are kind of sloshing in from all sides, you know. It's not like the wind is blowing one direction and we're going through them, but it literally they're coming from all sides. And then it's the planetary alignments. We're having an eclipse on Friday. We're having a full moon on the same day. There's a 555 5. There's a 4-5 code. Numerologically, and it's like the halfway point to me. Like, we're almost to the breakthrough. We're almost to the tipping point. And we just got to keep going. And Lisa, part of that upset that you're feeling and the disturbance, it's a coming full moon. The waters in our bodies are going, whoa, we're being pulled. And the planetary alignments and the eclipse and the full moon, it's like happening all at once. And this is really amazing. Now, what we can do is look around and appreciate right here, right now, from this moment, not tomorrow, not next week, not some other day. We can appreciate right now the love, the bounty, the freedom that we have. I'm glad you asked. Yes, right. Yeah, Stephanie asks a really good question. She's figured it out. The Akashic records are love questions. Questions are like can openers to more and more information. So I love it when you ask questions. As you notice, I get really energized and worked up, and the information comes in really fast. Okay, so how we get through this period of time, like between now and Sunday, and Friday's the big full moon and the eclipse all at the same time. That energy, the way we get through it is to be appreciating the moment. When I get out in the future, I automatically get fearful. I'm out of balance. I'm like a building that's ready to tip over because I'm thinking about the future and bumping things off my desk. So if I stay here in the present, I'm balanced. I can bring in my soul's light. I can bring in the energy of the great creatress, the divine feminine, who loves us and who is always birthing us, always renewing us endlessly. We can't even fathom infinite. The infinite now, the infinite love, infinite supply. There's enough for everybody all the time. How can it be? But I have to hold on to mine. Not really. Oof. Stay in the moment. Don't get too far in the future because that makes you tippy and out of balance. Don't get too far in the past and mucking about in regrets and resentments and if only it were this way. It wasn't. It wasn't that way, and it ain't going to be that way. It's going to be the way it happened, and we just get to accept that. We can't replay it and get a different result. That's what the mind, which is mostly memory, wants us to do. Mostly the mind goes, well, what happened the last time? And it goes back to a memory. And I want to get ready for this. And how can I get around it? Or how do I make it come out better? We are in this moment right now with more skills than we had in the past. More awareness, more wisdom, more love, more stability, or more the puzzle pieces are loosening. We're allowing light in to the spaces between the puzzles so that the light is shining through us. Stephanie says, I'm here. I'm right here, right now. Thank you. Exactly. That's the mantra for the next 4 or 5 days, something like that. I'm right here, right now. Thank you. And some of the affirmations for the full moon is I am loved, I'm loving, and I am lovable. And they're very present time for affirmations. Not a lot of out in the future. Just right here, right now, acknowledgement of the bounty that we have. We have roofs over our heads. We have gas in the car. We have money in our pockets. We have food in our refrigerators, and we forget all the time what bounty that represents in a world of starving people who have no home, who are living on these refugee trails, roads, trying to find a better life. We actually have it. We have it, and we have enough to share. And there's Matt Kahn. I remember listening to one of his YouTubes, and he said, may every bite I take feed the bellies of the hungry children. And that's one way of sharing. I include them. I expand to include the hungry children when I eat, when I take nourishment. I bring them into my consciousness and they take nourishment. It's a kindness. That's compassion. That's inclusion. That's a way different energy than I've got mine. Get out of here. Leave me alone. For some reason, my hand keeps getting raised on my own Zoom video. And Karen, that's for you as well. Instead of being in mourning, which you've been in quite a few years right now about the state of your relationship with your son, it's more like appreciate what you have now. Expand to include. And that awareness and that expanding to include, that includes your son. It includes your friends. It includes every other family member that you want to include. And it includes the children in this world who have no mother, who would love to have a mother wanting them to pay attention to her. Give that out. Share that with the world. Our energy systems, our hearts, our chakras, our spirits, our souls are so much bigger than we have allowed in the past. And they are ready for some serious expression. My goodness. All right, what else can we talk about? I'm looking to see if there are any more questions. That's a really good question, Lisa. Why does bringing in the light hurt so much? To me, I also feel like it hurts so much because almost like it's parched, and this is water for the thirsty. This is spiritual water for the thirsty. And, when someone has been starved for a while, their entire digestive system is shutting down because there's nothing in there for it to do. There's no food coming in to keep alive the macrocosm that we shelter in our very own bodies. And so bringing in, you have to bring it in slowly. Not a gush, not an all at once, don't make the dam break unless you can tolerate it. Don't make the dam break, but drip it in. Just stand in a tiny stream of light and let that fill you. And see how that feels. Is that a little easier? Never had that question before, so I think it's really relevant. That does feel like a good idea. I just want it all at once. Frankly, I'm from the United States. Whatever it is, I want more. If I like it, I want more. If I don't like it, I want to dominate it and chase it away and make it go away. If I like it, I want more. But really, what really helps may be just enough to get the juices flowing, to remind the physical about this is the light that created me, my soul's light, the divine light that my soul brings in. This is the light from which I come. My origins are that light. So small is okay. Small beginnings make big changes. Change the morning routine. Big changes happen. Change a little belief system. And, over the years I've had to learn to love my character defects. I got them. They're with me. And oftentimes my soul's making good use of them, teaching me compassion, allowance, not to chastise myself and be overly self-critical. That's me with the razor blade of perfectionism, and that I hurt myself with that. And I don't want to hurt myself with that. I want to be loving with myself. I demonstrate what I am being shown by the guides, by my soul, by the great creatress. They are all demonstrating unconditional love, non-judgmental acceptance, and non-resistance to me. And what happens if I turn that on myself, from myself? That's a really good feeling, you know. Assessing from a non-judgmental standpoint, does this belief work for me, or is it causing me pain or limitation, or is it from the old paradigm that I've shed, or I'm trying to shed? That's great. That's good introspection. But going inside and looking at my character defects and going in with my perfectionist razor and trying to cut them out surgically, cast them out like demons, what I resist persists. What I resist persists. So it only makes the character defect bigger and stronger because I'm using my character defects against myself like weapons. And that is not the path to peace, divine oneness, unification with my soul, calm relationships with others. If I am so torn up inside, I can't be a positive flow to other people because I'm too busy being cruel to myself. Just put the razor blade of perfectionism down. You may want to lock it in the energetic safe, padlock the safe, padlock it again, send it up to space and blow it up because that doesn't work. We have to love ourselves exactly as we are at this moment with no agenda. Everyone, try releasing your agenda for yourself. Like, woohoo! That is powerful. Somebody's sending me a little heart. I'm so happy about that. Thank you very much. All right. I sense that is that for today. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm so happy to be with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Being nice to yourself. Being the present moment. And not taking things too seriously. Thank you, Jody, for being here. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Sana. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Cynthia Clark. Let's see, who else? Dun-dun-dun. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Jessica. Oh, we had a good full house here today. And Karen Linder, thank you. Thank you for getting us launched into a really good day. Amen. Don't be afraid to call for a real reading with me. Just you and me. It's powerful. All right.